I've been working in a cleaning company for a few years now, and believe me when I say I've seen a lot of strange things. But the strangest thing that ever happened to me, was what happened in the old Fisher family house. That day is carved into my memory, and sometimes I feel like something is watching me, something evil. It was just another workday, like any other. Mrs. Fisher had passed away a few weeks ago, and her family wanted the house cleaned before selling it. The house was huge, old, and dusty, located in a completely isolated area. It was surrounded by a dense forest that seemed to swallow the sunlight. From the moment I stepped inside, I felt uneasy, like something was off. The air was heavy and smelled of mildew. There was no sound except for the creaking wooden floor beneath my feet and the rattling of the windows due to the wind. But I ignored it. I wasn't going to scare myself for no reason, and decided to start working. I began in the main room, cleaning the furniture, sweeping the floors, and trying to ignore the tight feeling in my chest that had no clear cause. Then, when I went upstairs to the bedroom, I found it. A small leather-bound notebook, hidden under one of the loose floorboards. It looked ancient, its pages were yellowed and torn, and its cracked leather cover hinted at its age. At first, I didn't think much of it. Maybe it was just something that belonged to the family. But the moment I opened it, everything changed. The first page was written in shaky old handwriting, dated July 12, 1910, and signed Father Augustine. The words were strange, terrifying, as if they were documenting a horrible disaster. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I am writing this to tell you about the terrifying case that happened in the village of St. Cuthbert, because my heart will not be at peace until the truth is known to all. My heart started pounding, and I felt my throat go dry. A shiver ran through my entire body. But I kept reading. It all began with the children. Their laughter turned into screams, and their eyes became as black as the night. One after another, the curse took them all. They started speaking in strange tongues, their voices were terrifying, like the hissing of snakes. At first, we thought it was some unknown disease. But it wasn't a disease, it was something from beyond our world, it was something belonging to the devil. Suddenly, the air in the room grew colder. I turned around in fear, half expecting to see someone standing behind me. But the house was empty. I was completely alone. I forced myself to keep reading. They called for my help when the first child died. Her body was twisted in an unnatural way, her mouth frozen in a horrifying scream. The rumors about demons spread through the village, people spoke of something sinister, something that had invaded their land. But I didn't believe them. I was an exorcist, I would not be afraid of mere talk. But I was a fool. I failed my first exorcism. Oh Lord, help me, everything I had learned was useless. The girl laughed, a demonic, chilling laugh. She spoke to me in a terrifying voice, cursed me, cursed the villagers, and then, she died. Her soul left her body in my hands. I slammed the book shut, my heart racing wildly. Something was wrong. I knew something was wrong. I felt suffocated by a growing sense of dread, but I couldn't stop, I had to keep reading. I opened the journal again, flipping through its pages. The priest's handwriting had become even shakier, as if he no longer had confidence in himself. I have seen evil with my own eyes, seen it within good people. It looks like them, but its soul is black. The devil is no longer possessing just one person, he is inside all of them. Like a plague. Spreading, killing. One by one. Today, I tried another exorcism. I failed, completely and utterly failed. Evil is all around me, and the devil is stronger than I am. He knows my name. He mocked me. He said he had been waiting for me. I could feel his presence in the room. I could smell his foul stench in the air. Suddenly, I heard a sound behind me. I jumped, and the notebook fell from my hands. I spun around, my heart about to burst from terror, but the room was empty. Only shadows filled the space, stretching eerily along the walls. It was as if something was there with me. I picked up the notebook again, trying to shake off my fear, but my hands were trembling. I wanted to stop reading. I didn't want to know more. But the words felt like they had a spell over me. I flipped to the last page, dated October 31st, 1910, and continued reading. The village is lost. The devil has taken them all. Men, women, children, he runs through them like a plague, leaving only death and ruin behind. I hear his voice in my dreams, calling me, pulling me toward him. I know what I must do. This is not an exorcism, this is a battle for survival. Tonight, I will face him. May God help me. If I write nothing more, know that I fought him. Even though I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle. I can hear him now. He is coming for me. The moment I finished reading, the wind outside howled fiercely. The entire house creaked, and the floorboards screamed, as if something heavy was moving inside. My breathing turned ragged, and every instinct in my body screamed run. But my legs wouldn't move. Then I heard it. At first, it was just a faint whisper, like the wind slipping through cracks in the walls. But over time, the sound grew louder. And I started to understand the words. At first, I didn't recognize the language, but then I knew it was Latin. And slowly, I began to comprehend the message. The devil is coming for you. The room grew darker, and the shadows started moving, twisting and writhing like living things. My heart pounded as I stepped back toward the door, clutching the notebook like it was the only thing protecting me. Then I saw him. Standing in the corner of the room, hidden in the shadows, watching. Tall, his skin pale and stretched tight over his bones, his eyes black as the abyss. He didn't move, but I could feel my blood freeze under his cold, malicious gaze. My breath caught in my throat, I was paralyzed. And then he smiled. A wide, unnaturally large grin split his face in two, revealing rows of rotting, black teeth. Then, in a low, raspy voice, one that echoed inside my own mind, he spoke. I came for you. I ran. I bolted down the stairs, through the dark corridors, and out the front door. I didn't stop until I reached my car, locked myself inside, and with shaking hands, tried to start the engine. In the rearview mirror, the house loomed behind me. Pitch black. Evil. I never went back. And if something happens to me, now you know why. If it starts haunting you, forgive me. Like, subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon to never miss a scare.